Properties of connective tissue. In these properties, first we have to see connective tissue, whatever the structure you take, like the tendon, ligament, bone, cartilage, whatever. So made up of so many materials like cells, cellular component, extracellular matrix, proteoglycans, erythroproteins, collagen, elastin. So the give a mixture of so many properties to a connective tissue. So all the connective tissues are heterogeneous structures. Heterogeneous structures. What it means? Heterogeneous structures means they are mixed up of so many structures. Here properties. All the properties. First property is viscoelasticity. Viscoelasticity. So all the connective tissues will have this property, viscoelasticity. In this viscoelasticity, we are going to see time-dependent properties, time-dependent property and rate-dependent property. Time-dependent and rate-dependent. In this time-dependent, we'll see creep and stress relaxation. We'll see creep and stress relaxation. And in rate dependent properties, we will see hysteresis. I will explain later. Time dependent, creep and stress relaxation we will see, and rate dependent we are going to see hysteresis. This is one property, viscoelasticity. And second one, mechanical behavior. Mechanical behavior. In this mechanical behavior of the connective tissues, we are going to see what is stress, what is strain, what is failure point, So these are the points we are going to see in this mechanical behavior. And at the same time here, related to stress, strain and failure point, here we will see the load and deformation of connective tissue. Load and deformation of the connective tissue and stress strain curves. Stress and strain curves. So these are the properties of the overall connective tissues. Apart from this, we will be having specific properties of connective tissue for the bone, cartilage, ligament, like this. So here some specific properties to the connective tissue structure. So now we will see what are these viscoelasticity property and mechanical behavior. Okay. First property, viscoelasticity. So here elasticity means we know what is the elasticity means. If we take one structure, if we are going to do stitch here and here, the structure of that tissue will elongate. After removal of that external force, again it will come back to its original position. This is nothing but elasticity. So here when we apply load to the tissue or structure, the structure will deform. Deformation will happen. This deformation is because of the both collagen and elastin. We know, right, where we will see collagen and elastin. Collagen will see the extracellular matrix and fibular component. Because of this collagen elastin, this property will work. Now we will come to viscosity. Viscosity is nothing but it is the fluid resistance to flow. Actually it is a fluid property. Here viscosity is directly proportional to the resistance of load. It is directly proportional to the resistance, and viscosity is inversely proportional to the temperature. So these two are the properties in viscoelasticity. So when we apply load to the connective tissue structure, it may deform. So when these structures are deforming, viscoelasticity, when we apply load to the viscoelastic materials, if we apply load in our human body if we apply load. So these viscoelastic materials will follow time dependent and rate dependent properties. Will show time dependent and rate dependent properties. What are these time dependent, rate dependent? We'll see. We'll see time dependent. First we'll see time dependent property. Time dependent property. So before that, suppose if one material is there, suppose if one viscoelastic material is there, it can undergo either tensile stress. That means it can elongate, and it can undergo either compressive stress. Tensile stress and compressive stress. So the tissue can stretch and it can compress. So after removal of this tensile stress, it can come back to its normal position. After removal of its compressive, it will come back to its normal position, means structure. So that means viscoelastic materials can undergo deformation. Deformation nothing but the change in the structure. Viscoelastic properties can undergo deformation either in tensile stress and compressive stress. When these viscoelastic properties are deforming, that time they will follow time dependent properties. What is that time dependent property? Here in this time dependent property, we have to see the two topics. We have to see the 2 points. First one creep. Second one stress relaxation. Second one stress relaxation. What is this creep means? If you apply load to the structure, here load is applied to the structure. Load is applied to the one viscoelastic structure. Here load is constant. Then the tissue will deform. Slowly. At first. Tissue will deform slowly at first. After that, the deformation will increase. The deformation will increase. But the load is constant. Okay, we'll see two example. See here one such knee joint is there. Here it is unloaded. So that means there is no load acting on that knee joint. Now here it is second knee. Here 20 IB load is acting on the knee joint. At the starting stage of this load, it is going to deform little. After some time, maybe after 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe after 5-6 days, okay, the load is constant. The load is same. Here what is the load is? Same load is constant. We are saying here we applied 20 IB load. So that time the structure here ligament or tendon, these two structures are elongating slowly. Okay, after 1 hour or maybe 2 hours or maybe 2-3 days, the load is same here. But the deformation is more. That's what here we are saying. Deformation. Here this is deformation. This is time. In 1 hour, see, this is the deformation. Then it is going to reach a kind of equilibrium. So this time here, some time, the tissue is taking some time to elongate. That is nothing but creep. Now we'll see stress relaxation. Second point, stress relaxation. What is this stress relaxation means? Suppose here we apply 20 IB weight to the knee joint. So that starting time, this knee joint ligament or tendon, they are going to experience more stress. At the initial time. Here, so when we apply load to the one structure, at the initial time of loading, they will experience more stress. The structures will experience more stress. After elongation, otherwise deformation. After elongation or deformation, see here it is already elongated because of time. Creep is elongated. After elongation, the structures which are present here, they are not going to feel more stress. more stress, because initial stage same weight, more stress. Once the structure is elongated, I mean deformed, it will reach into stage of equilibrium. It will reach into stage of equilibrium. After that, the same structures, with the same weight are not going to feel the more stress, Slowly, the amount of stress will come down on the structures up to zero also. So this is nothing but stress relaxation when we apply a load to the connective tissue structure, otherwise viscoelastic structure. At the initial range, the stress will be more on that structures. After elongation or deformation, if once the tissue will reach a equilibrium of deformation, so automatically the structures will be stress relaxation and stress relaxation. This is about stress relaxation. Now we will see difference between creep and stress relaxation. The major difference between this creep and stress relaxation, here only 2 points remember. First point here, load is constant in creep, and second point here, deformation of the tissue will increase over time. So here load will be constant from 1 hour to 10 days. Load will be constant, but the deformation of the structures will increase. Here stress relaxation first point here, load will decrease on the structures. But here we are not going to remove the load will be there only, but the tissue is already elongated, no? So that's why there is no much stress on that, so that's why load will decrease on the structures. That's why I am saying on the structure. Already it is elongated. So here load, this deformation is constant. It's very easy to understand. Here the tissue will stretch, elongate, load will be same. Here already tissue is elongated, deformation done, so that's why the load will be less. And one more point here, suppose if our aim is to increase the length of the muscle according to this crib. So first we have to give a load to the muscle by stretching, Here we know viscoelastic materials are, see, if temperature is more, the viscosity and elasticity will become more. It will be more. If the temperature is less, the property means here viscosity elasticity will be less. So what it means, if we want to increase the length of the muscle, if we apply more temperature on that structure, then we apply load to that muscle, the muscle will elongate very easily. Means wax therapy, here we have to apply first wax therapy and hydrocolloid wax will apply to that muscle or structure. So if you apply temperature, under more temperature, here the tissue will elongate fast, so that if you apply load, then the length will increase. If the temperature is less, the viscoelastic properties will take more time to react. This is about creep and stress relaxation. So here we saw that time dependent property of the viscoelastic materials. Now we will see rate dependent property. What is this rate dependent property? It's very easy. Rate dependent property. Suppose one structure is there. When you apply a load to that structure, when you apply a stress to the structure. Okay, here I am keeping it. When we apply a stress to the structure, here it is tensile stress. Okay, it will going to elongate the structure. When we apply tensile stress to the structure, tensile or compressive, whatever, when we apply stress to the structure, up to 1 hour, or maybe a finite time up to 1 hour or in unit time. The tissue will first it will elongate. The tissue first it will elongate. After removal of this stress, again the tissue will come back to its normal position. Again the tissue will come back to its normal position. Here the point is, when the tissue is elongated, that time it is, when tissues came back in this position, here this is load, this is deformation, this is the initial point. Suppose imagine this is structure, we are giving load, we gave load to the structure, so the tissue is elongated, up to one point. When you remove the load, the tissue is came back to normal position. Here what we have to observe, when we applied load, it was elongated. When we release the load, it is coming into it came into its normal position. But the point between here, see the deformation, the point of load application and the point of when it reaches relaxation state, this deformation phase, here some energy will be wasted. When deformation stage, here this is load, it happened elongated. Again when you remove the load, it came back to normal position. In these two process, the point of deformation, see the distance between load and here relaxation point. So between these two here, some energy is wasted in the form of heat. The phenomenon is nothing but the wasted energy in the form of heat. That phenomenon is called as hysteresis. That is nothing but hysteresis. Suppose this is one. Now here you see this one more material. Here we applied a load to the structures. So here it is elongated. After removal of that load, again it came back to normal resting position. So these are the viscoelastic properties. These are the time dependent and rate dependent properties of the viscoelastic materials. Mechanical behavior. Second property of the connective tissue. Second property, that is mechanical behavior. To understand this second property, first we should understand what is stress, after that what is strain, then failure. Stress, strain and failure. So I'll explain very easily. Suppose here one object is there, here one ligament is there. Imagine ligament is there. So when I am going to apply one force on this direction and in this direction, see here one ligament is there. When I am going to apply one force on this direction, if I do like this, this direction load, this direction force, the force which is acting on the object is called as stress. And because of this force, the ligament will elongate. Length will increase. So because of stress, what is happening to the ligament, that is called strain. Understand the point? So stress is nothing but the force which we are acting on the ligament, which we are giving to the ligament. The force which we are giving to the ligament is nothing but stress. Strain means because of this force, what we gave here, what is happening inside the ligament, that is nothing but strain. Okay. Stress equals to force divided by area. Stress means force equal to how much force we are applying. Area means area of cross section. Okay. So one object is there. If you are giving a force, so which area you are giving the force? One object is there, we are giving a force. On which area we are giving the force? That is nothing but stress. Stress equals to force divided by area. So strain means because of this force, what will happen to that object? That is nothing but strain. Okay. Now we'll see what is this failure point. failure point. Suppose if the object is unable to support or load, unable to support or load or bear the stress, then the object is said to be failure. If the object is unable to take a force or load, whatever, then the object is said to be failure. Okay. Some examples. Suppose this is our femur bone. This is our long bone femur bone. This is convex side. This is convex side. Here this is convex side. So here, if you apply, see, two forces, distraction forces. Here, this force will come like this. Here, this force will come like this. Is tensile force. This is tensile force. Just for example, I am showing here. Just for example, what is tensile, what is compressive. So here, forces will be acting. If we give this kind of force, this is compressive force. This is compressive forces. So tensile is going to increase the length or deformation of the structure. Compressive forces are reduce or decrease the length of the structures. Suppose here one object is there. If I give one force in this direction and this direction, it is going to create the tensile. It is going to create the length of that object. That is tensile force. Suppose if we give in opposite direction like this, towards same direction. Now it is going to reduce the length of that box. That is compressive force. Suppose here one more case is there. Here one object is there. One force is acting on upward, one force is acting on downward. These two forces are not in same line. These two forces are not in same line. That time it is going to create a kind of force. That force is called as shear force. So these are the main points what we should understand in mechanical behavior: stress, strain, and failure point. At the same time, what is the shear force? What is tensile force? What is compressive force? Now we will enter into the final point. In this mechanical behavior, we are going to see the load. If you apply load to a structure, what will happen? Deformation will happen. We will see load deformation curve and stress. If you apply stress to a structure, what will happen? The structure will feel strain. Now stress strain curves we will see. Okay. The second property in this mechanical behavior. First one we will see load deformation curve for a structure. Usually this load deformation curve will use to understand the mechanical behavior of the structure, and at the same time to understand the strength of the either ligament, muscle, tendon, bone. So to understand the strength and mechanical behavior, we will do this load deformation curve. Suppose here one side being load, here deformation is there. In whatever the side, one connective tissue structure. Okay, one connective tissue structure. When the load is applied to a structure, how it will deform. Now we will see. Now here this side load is applied. This is deformation from the point A to B. This point we can take when load is applied to this structure. From point A to B, the deformation will occur. But the deformation is temporary deformation. Because if you remove load here, from B to point A it will come down. What will come down? Deformation will come down to normal state. So that means it is the elastic range. It is the elastic range of that tissue or structure. So A to B, this straight line is the elastic range of the structure. So here the structure will deform, but a temporary deformation. From point B to C, it is the plastic region. We will say it is plastic region. So here in this point the tissue will deform. If you release the stress also or load, the tissue will not come back to normal position. So here deformation is permanent. permanent. Okay, from B to C it is the plastic region. Here deformation is permanent. Here A to B deformation will occur, but it is temporary deformation. Here point B, this is nothing but yield point. Yield point. What is the importance of this yield point? Means this is the point where the tissue will reach the maximum level of the elasticity. After this yield point, whatever the deformation will occur, it will not come back to normal position. That's why it is an important yield point. Suppose when the load is applying, if we release the load at the V1 level, so it will come back to normal position. So, but not complete. It will come back to normal position, but with the permanent deformation, with the partial permanent deformation. Little permanent deformation will be there. Even though after this point, if the load is still continuing, then it will reach a stage of ultimate failure point. After that, the tissue may tear. This is load deformation curve. To understand the mechanical behavior. So here we will see Young's modulus formula here. So according to this, modulus is equals to stress by strain. So stress equals to force applied on cross-sectional area. Strain equals to see the initial length of the object by change in the length of the object or structure. Now here we will see modulus. We know that modulus formula is equal to stress by strain. Stress equals to force by area, and strain equals to initial length divided by change in the length. Of the object. So this is modulus. Now we'll see modulus for this tissue or whatever some connective tissue structure. Suppose from point A to B, the modulus point A to B. If you calculate stress and strain, here strain or deformation is directly proportional to the resistance. So that if you give load to this, again it will come back to its normal position. If you give more load, it will increase, it will elongate more. So now second point, see here the curve is here. This is straight line. Here it is curved. That is nothing but steep. We'll say it as steep. In this stage, see here modulus will be more. So because of this more modulus, the structure which is present here, in this place, the structure will show resistance. The structure will show stiffness. To the load. So here the structure will show stiffness to the load because of high modulus. And third point, here it is linear. Because of that linear, here modulus will be less. So that here the tissues will show low stiffness. To the load. So this is about load deformation. Here load will be there, here deformation because of that load application. Here tissue will show like this. A to B, it is a elastic point. B to C, it is a plastic region. B1, it is a, so here the point, if you release the load here, the tissue will come back to normal position with permanent deformation. Here B, it is the point. Here the point, it is the point, yield point. B is the point, it is yield point. So in this triangle, if you want to see the mechanical behavior, modulus formula, stress and strain. Stress equals to force divided by area. Strain equals to the length of the initial length of the structure divided by change in the length of structure. That is nothing but deformation. So strain, okay, strain here it is strike and starting it is strike and in this strike and strain is or deform is directly proportional to the resistance, and here stiff, here it is curved, so that is stiff. Here modulus will be more, so tissues will show high stiffness to the stitch or elongation. Here it is linear, so that here modulus will be less, so that here low stiffness will see in these structures. Okay, this is about load deformation curve.